cannot talk about tension and neglect how our thoughts and our mental state impact the level of tension that we carry. Singing is a physical activity and it's also a mental activity. Our life circumstances and our fears can weigh heavy on our mental health. As I've worked with vocalists over the years, I have found that one of the biggest sources of tension comes from anxieties about singing or a singer's insecurities about their voice. Singing is vulnerable, so it's understandable why so many singers find themselves facing tension from anxiety and fear. Some vocalists also believe that singing is much more difficult than speaking, especially when singing higher. As breath pressure builds against growing vocal fold tension, we can find ourselves tending to believe that we need to use more muscular effort to produce sound, but that extra effort is not necessary. To build a well rounded voice, you have to consider more than just good singing technique and posture. You also need to become mindful of how your thoughts and your beliefs play into your singing. Before we even create sound, we first think it. Our brain decides the sound it wants to create with our voices. A signal is then sent to the larynx to let the vocal folds know what to do and how to vibrate. While focusing on improved mental health as a singer may not fix every single issue that we encounter in our voices, as some issues are just only corrected with physical adjustments. There are likely limiting beliefs that you have towards your voice that are holding you back from unlocking all that your voice is capable of. Because our brains first think about the sound that we want to create, the filter which our thinking first goes through can put us at a disadvantage. Sometimes we think very hard about the exact sound we want to create, but if we are holding on to unnecessary stress, we will typically not be able to create that sound that we had hoped for. Have you ever been in a restaurant and you're going to order a quesadilla and somebody teases you by saying, "Don't say quesadilla"? You know how it's pronounced and you know how to say it, but now all you keep thinking is, "Don't say quesadilla." And when the waiter walks up and asks you what you want, you say quesadilla. This is what we do with our brains when we are singing. You would have naturally hit the note or kept your neck muscles more relaxed on your high notes. But when there's tension and stress in our thoughts, the notes don't come out right, or you experience more muscular force and tension. I know this probably sounds overwhelming and like one of those things that is impossible to correct. But I can assure you that you can correct this. It will take patience and time, but your mindset towards your voice and your singing practice can change. As you continue training your voice each day, you will become more confident in your technique and your skills. You simply showing up each day to practice is step one to begin shifting how you think about your voice. If you've been doing your sing text exercises, good job. You're already doing this. Step two is to begin incorporating vocal gratitude into your practice. Don't worry, this doesn't need to eat up a lot of your time. Every week, I practice vocal gratitude 3 to 5 times. Before I start practicing, I take a minute to close my eyes, slow down my breathing, and thank my voice for how hard it works for me, day in and day out. Think about how it supports you as you communicate with your loved ones, in your work, and even with strangers. Now think about how hard it works for you when you are singing, too. Our voices are a gift, not only to us, but to others as well. Next, I then think about what I love about my voice, qualities I like. Maybe you have a calming speaking and singing voice. Maybe you have a lot of power in your chest voice, or maybe you have great clarity on your high notes. Think about what you love about your voice. We singers are so hyper focused on what we need to correct in our voices, and we tend to neglect what we love and what is going well. Practicing vocal gratitude resets and rewires the brain before you sing. So rather than picking out every single flaw you hear in your practice, you start focusing on what is going well. I'm not saying that we need to neglect flaws, but I am saying that we need to highlight the good things happening in our singing practice too. Later in the lessons, we'll be guiding you through a vocal gratitude exercise, and you'll be able to access that video or the audio at any point. Most of the time, our fears and our anxieties in relation to singing stem from events in our lives where we were told we sing off pitch, or someone said we had a bad voice, or maybe it's just insecurities of being heard and being seen by others. All of these things come from the fear of being judged by others and feeling like no one wants us. No one wants to hear what we have to say or sing. This is where training your voice starts to go deep, and that may feel a little scary for you. I get it. It is scary to uncover emotional trauma that may have been buried for years. What you feel as you are singing can be heard. What you think about yourself as you sing can be heard. The voice is very telling of what is going on emotionally inside of us. I want to encourage you to not shy away from digging in deeper to pursue healing of these traumas that you may have experienced. Healing will likely not happen overnight, and you also may not realize how things in your past or words that were spoken over you years ago impact your voice right now, and that's okay. Sometimes these things come up later down the line in your singing journey. We're going to dive in deeper to all of this in another section, but I felt it was important to touch on as the brain and our mental health play a large role in the tensions that we carry when we sing. I'm sorry if anyone told you that you cannot sing. And I'm sorry if anyone told you that you'll never have what it takes to have a beautiful voice. I'm sorry if anyone ever belittled you and made you feel that what you have to say is not important. You matter, and your voice matters, and people do want to hear you. You have a story and life experience to share that no one else has. And what's also beautiful is that you have a unique voice that no one else has. We want to hear your voice, and I want you to give yourself permission to heal those hurts from the past and give yourself permission to experience vocal freedom. You're worthy of it.